Western North Carolina is home to nearly endless outdoor activities. Whether you're into hiking on our local trails, running our world-class rivers, or climbing at one of our many popular crags, there's truly something for everyone in this area. However, when we're outside recreating, we have to make sure that we're able to keep ourselves safe, the environment safe, and others in our group safe. So today, I'm going to be talking about how to identify and what to do about several different species that we can run into in the wild and how to keep ourselves safe. Despite many common misconceptions, we only have two types of venomous snakes in this area. These are the timber rattlesnake and the eastern copperhead. Timber rattlesnakes can be identified by their large head, a very full body all the way through, and their very characteristic rattle at the end of their tail. Eastern copperheads are our other venomous snake that we have in this area. And while they can be commonly confused with several other species, such as northern water snakes and eastern rat snakes, if you know what to look for, they're not too hard to identify either. One of their main characteristics is a spade-shaped head that is often tan or copper in color. They keep much of this color all the way through, and they also gain Hershey kiss or hourglass-shaped markings down the length of their body. Both of these species of pit vipers will not bother you unless provoked. But in the unlikely case that you do end up on the wrong side of one of these snakes, simply get to medical care as soon as possible. Any attempt to remove venom or cut off blood flow could simply lead to further injuries. Both of these species of snakes are most common in the warmer months from spring until fall, and you're likely to find them on rocky outcrops, areas with plenty of sun like trails or meadows, and any area that they can hide. We also have to be aware of several plant species that are found in this area. Poison ivy can be found in a few different forms that often has 3 leaves, takes on a vine form, and can be found growing on trees and other woody debris. If you come into contact with poison ivy, it's often a delayed reaction, but it can cause severe skin irritation and rashes that can last for days, weeks, or even months in some individuals. The toxicity of poison ivy comes from an oil that can be found in all parts of the plants. If you do come into contact with these oils, as soon as possible, try to wash the affected area with soap and water. And remember that just because the oils are not on your skin, they can still be carried on clothing and other items for weeks at a time. Another species that we need to be aware of is stinging nettle. Like poison ivy, can cause a pretty severe skin reaction, but thankfully, this reaction only lasts for several seconds or up to a minute or two. Stinging nettle can be identified by its jagged serrated leaves and small hairs that grow on the stem and the leaves of the plant. These hairs are what carry the toxicity of the plant, and when brushed up against, they can cause a severe itching or burning sensation. If you come into contact with stinging nettle, the best thing to do is just wait it out. It's not going to last too long. Even though it is uncomfortable, it's not going to cause any lasting effects the way poison ivy would. It's important to note that many times people come in the woods in search of medicinal or edible plants. Unless something has been positively ID'd, we never want to consume it. Many types of mushrooms can be extremely toxic, so if we don't know what it is, it's best to just leave it be. It's also important to be aware of several stinging insects that we can encounter in the woods. Most often these are going to be bees, hornets, and wasps. The venom in these insect stingers contains what's called histamines. These can cause small localized reactions, and in severe cases can even cause life-threatening allergic reactions. And if you are allergic, always carry proper medication with you. These stinging insects won't bother you unless you bother them in most cases. So avoid moving rocks, flipping over logs and stumps, and other areas where we might find bees' nests and hives. Many of these areas that we recreate in can be quite remote, and we can't rely on cell service for communication or for information. So it's important that before we ever go into the field, we have a plan, we've let someone know where we're going, we've taken all necessary steps to prepare, and we familiarize ourselves with the flora and fauna that we may encounter when in Western North Carolina.